Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to Issues Unite. All right, so most of this is going to be about the cost of American adventurism. Uh, but I want to start off here, all right, with any of you that thought that Biden was going to back off on U.S. military aggressions against and diplomatic and economic aggressions against other countries. Well, first of all, let's start with Venezuela. Biden has already said that he supports Guaido as the president of Venezuela. Keep in mind that Guaido was never even he never even ran for office. All right. Biden also supports sanctions against Venezuela, which are killing tens of thousands of people a month in Venezuela. In addition, he is now using the New START treaty, the nuclear treaty with Russia, to try and bully Russia into paying for the cost of Russiagate. Basically, what this is doing is trying to force Russia into, stating that they are guilty of something which, no evidence has ever been proven. You can go back to the Mueller report, and it does not say anything. It's all propaganda, every bit of it. So in addition, Biden is calling China a militaristic threat. It's the United States that has, naval vessels in the South China Sea. We don't have Chinese ships out in the Gulf of Mexico. So who's the threat? All right. On top of that, the day after the inauguration, January 21st, 2021, U.S. military rolled hundreds of additional military troops into Syria, where our presence from day one has been illegal under international law. And Biden is talking about increasing the U.S. military presence in Iraq, where again our military presence is illegal under international law because the Iraqi parliament voted unanimously for the U.S. military presence to leave. They want our military gone. But Biden wants to increase the presence, the U.S. military presence in Iraq and in Syria, both countries where our presence is illegal. All right? So, this was something that I just went into. Let's see, I got to find the right screen here. I went back over the U.S. military spending since 2001. Sorry, wrong screen. Okay. Since 2001, these numbers that you're seeing are in billions. So, you can go down the whole list here, but the grand total here Since 2001, 13 trillion 980 billion dollars. That is in military spending. That is just the Department of Defense. I have pointed out on a number of occasions before that this does not even give you a picture of the actual, U.S. defense spending, because these numbers do not include the Department of Homeland Security, the CIA, the FBI, the NSA, VA funding, or upgrading of nuclear weapons, which, since 2017, has been costing us $100 billion per year. And that is because of a commitment signed by Obama just before he left office to spend $1 trillion over 10 years. $1 trillion over 10 years is $100 billion a year to upgrade U.S. nuclear weapons. All right, so let's add something else in here. Okay? In a couple of years ago, there was a report that came out when the Pentagon was audited. And it turned out that they could not account for $21 trillion between 1998 and 2011. That does not even account for the last 9 years. And that is money that they could not account for. That's not their budget. This was money above and beyond their budget. So right here we've got about $14 trillion. Add another $21 trillion to that. Excuse me, I'm forgetting my... All right. And did I do that right? Yeah. Yes, I did. So when you add those together, 21 and 13, now you got $45 trillion. No, 35. $35 trillion. Sorry, I'm tired. Okay, $35 trillion. So let's take a look at something else. This was the other screen I was about to bring up here. This is a very handy website, and I'll probably be bringing it up again in later videos. This is the U.S. National Debt Clock. Keep in mind, $35 trillion, and that's without accounting for the CIA, the FBI, the NSA, the DHS, the VA, or upgrading nuclear weapons. Those are all accounted for separately. That's not in that $35 trillion. Now take a look. This is the U.S. national debt clock. Look at our national debt. 27, almost $28 trillion. Our military has literally spent more in the last 20 years than the entire U.S. national debt. Are you getting this? Are you understanding this now? If we cut military spending by 25%, there's a good chance that we wouldn't even have a national debt right now. If we cut military spending by 25% and demanded that they account for every penny that they spend, we might not have a national debt at all, even with the events of the past year. So, and yet, Biden said before even taking office, he wanted to increase military spending. He is now taking steps to absolutely ensure that we are spending more on military adventurism. And yet, people that are in line for food banks are going to have to wait until March or April or never get anything at all. Americans are going bankrupt from medical bills, or they're dying because they can't afford their medications. But let's spend more money on bombs. Let's send more troops into other countries where our presence is illegal. Oh, but let's join. Let's join the WHO. Because that'll make it all right. No, it won't. I mean, yeah, rejoining the WHO is a good thing. Yes, it is. Absolutely. We belong there as an equal partner, not as the leader of the WHO. No. The World Health Organization is part of the UN, which is supposed to be a democratic organization that spans all countries. But America wants to be the head of the WHO, the head of the OPCW, the head of the UN Security Council. We want to dictate the UN Human Rights Council, which I haven't heard him saying anything about rejoining that, or the International Criminal Court. How about that? How about we rejoin the International Criminal Court? How about we honor their decisions regarding, war crimes? How about that? I won't be holding my breath on any of this. And neither should you. Because if the U.S. starts talking about joining these things again, it's going to be with an attempt to dictate to them. But most of all, you look at these numbers again. Go look at that national debt clock, because that's a lot of information on there that you need to see. Look at the U.S., debt to GDP. I'm going to pop that back up here. All right. The national debt to GDP is 130%, which means we owe 130% of what we're making as a nation, just with the national debt. Now let's go further over here and include state debts. Total debt to GDP ratio, 146%. As a nation, we owe 146% of what we are making as a nation. Look at the national debt and federal tax revenue. 3 trillion, 27 trillion. So we are taking in 1/9 in tax revenue of what we're spending, what our government is spending. But Biden thinks that increasing taxes on corporations by 7% to 28% is enough, when in 2016 the corporate tax rate was 35% officially. It wasn't what they actually paid, and the 28% is not what they're going to pay now. We cannot keep spending all our money on wars while our people are dying and while we're killing people in other countries. We can't do this. And you cannot claim that Biden is going to get us out of any wars. All right. Share this video. Talk about these subjects. If you can, please donate $1 a month to help expand the channel, and I will see you in the next one.